From the split-second timing and flawless hand-eye coordination needed to break clay targets flying 65 miles per hour, to the unwavering concentration and pinpoint accuracy needed to hit a dime-sized bullseye at 50 meters, international or Olympic-style shooting spans an incredible range of marksmanship skills.
Chevy Trucks, Shooting Sports America.
Hi, I'm Gresham, shooting editor for Sports Afield magazine. 67 different countries are competing in the '98 World Cup, a truly Olympic caliber shooting event. And joining me to cover the action is fellow Sports Afield editor Tom Gresham.
Good to be here, Grits. You know, international shooting really is a lot like track and field, a sport that has a common thread, but actually consists of a variety of quite different events, each with its own challenges and demands.
It's a place where the targets fly faster, the bullseyes get smaller, and the pressure to put your shot smack in the middle of the 10 ring goes right through the roof. Olympic-style shooting. From the very best shooters in the United States to the top guns from around the world, it is the ultimate test of marksmanship skills. More than 750 athletes from the U.S. and around the world have gathered here at the Wolf Creek Olympic Shooting Complex in Atlanta, Georgia for the 1998 UIT World Cup, which includes 17 different events in precision rifle, pistol, and shotgun competition.
Dating back to the 1896 Olympic Games, the men's 50-meter free pistol competition is among the oldest of all international-style shooting events. Using highly accurized 22 caliber pistols, competitors in this event must try to consistently hit a 2-inch bullseye set out at more than half a football field away.
I think the most difficult thing about this event is pretty much have to be perfect on every shot.
In an event long dominated by Russian and Eastern European nations, it was encouraging to see U.S. shooters placing near the top in this men's 50-meter free pistol final, with Buddy Duvall coming in fourth and teammate Stephen King taking the bronze medal.
With the latest in electronic target systems which allow shots to be instantly seen on video monitors by competitors and spectators alike, the Wolf Creek Shooting Complex is among a handful of ranges considered to be truly world-class. Earlier, we had a chance to talk to two-time Olympic gold medal winner Lone Zwigger about these new high-tech targets.
Well, electronic targets were devised for spectators and for TV. The shooter shoots into a black hole. It's a black rubber band. It still looks like the round black target of old. The microphones on each corner of the target measures the shot from center. So it gives you the exact value, although you can't see the shot. But the shot is depicted then on a monitor that shows the bullet hole on the target on the monitor, so that's all the shooter has to go by. You know, we're looking at shooting a 10 ring that's less than the size of a dime at 50 meters, and then you divide that dime into 10 more parts, and that's how you break the ties.
The running target event requires the utmost precision shooting, but these targets don't stand still.
In the running target event, shooters must fire at a computer-controlled target that moves briskly across a track. Even with this added difficulty, close to perfect scores are the norm.
It's a 10-meter event. It's done with the air rifle. We shoot it 10 meters away. Target moves 33 feet. We got to shoot in 2 different modes. One's slow, the other one's fast. Slow is 5 seconds, fast is 2.5 seconds. You got to picture a 10 every time. 9 and 8s are unacceptable in the sport.
While U.S. results in running target were not in the medals, coming up next is an event where U.S. shooters, especially our women, are coming on strong. International trap.
Chevy Trucks, Shooting Sports America, is brought to you by Chevy Trucks and Winchester.
A real bright spot in clay target competition has been the recent success of our U.S. women, thanks in no small measure to the work of U.S. coach Lloyd Woodhouse.
What they're shooting out here is called international trap. It consists of 6 shooters that shoot 25 clay targets, and they throw them about twice as fast as American trap, twice the angle, and about twice the elevation. The young women that are shooting the finals today in the Grand Prix, World Cup Grand Prix for women, they're shooting a new Olympic sport, and it consists of 75 targets, 3 rounds of 25, plus a final. They add all of the targets together, both the preliminaries and the final, to determine the winners. We have some fine young women shooting today. We have 3 Americans in the finals. The first one is Joanna Nowitzki, and she's going in 1 target ahead in first place. And then Cindy Gentry, a member of our World Championship team, which will go to Barcelona in July. And Denise Morrison, who is shooting in 5th place. And we expect some good results from them.
All right, so going into the final round of the women's trap, we have American Joanna Nowitzki is in the lead, but only by 1 point over Canadian Cynthia Meyer. Should be an excellent competition here. And here's Cynthia Meyer, Canadian. Jump all
that
over
one.
that one.
Get that high-pitched call. She really jumps on them.
Nowitzki gets that with her second shot. Did not let it get away. Here's Cynthia Meyer. Another second barrel break.
Yes, sir. It's great to see half of these finalists are U.S. women.
That's right. Real optical illusion with this. This course slopes downward very much, and the shooters have to adjust their point of aim when they start out. Otherwise, the targets are coming out. It's just a strange optical illusion for them. And you'll notice how the ground slopes away. It makes the target look like it's higher than it really is.
Meyer missed another one.
All right, Nowitzki is leading by 2 now. Jumped on that with that first shot. That looked pretty good.
I first started shooting in 1989 in a program for juniors at the Olympic Training Center. I then realized that I was really interested in the sport, and a couple years later, in October '93, I joined the Army and began shooting on their marksmanship unit. I like the competitiveness. It's an individual game. It's all about you. It doesn't matter what other people are doing.
Cynthia Meyer, the Canadian, only 1 shot back. Oh, did she jump on that in a hurry? Holy cow. She barely let that one get out of the bunker. Joanna Nowitzki breaks a really hard charge at left or right crosser.
My parents both shot trap, and they started me when I was real young. I shot my first competition when I was 9 years old. So I've been doing it all my life.
Well, this bunker trap is a tough game. They have 2 shots at each target.
But these targets are so fast. And of course, the targets themselves are harder than normal trap targets.
Right, and they throw them at wider angles and higher elevations up and down than regulation American trap.
It's just very, very difficult. Most American shooters have never seen targets like this before. And Joanna Nowitzki holds on to her slim 1-target lead here. I tell you, this competition is so tight. Hey, just 1 target separating first and second here. Cynthia Meyer is trying to move up, but I tell you, Joanna Nowitzki does not want to give her anything. She's not going to lose any targets there.
She's all over those targets.
I think she's gotten back in the zone. It looked a little shaky at first, breaking some targets with that second barrel, but now she's just crushing them with the first shot.
Meyer's staying right in there with her, though. She's 1 target behind.
The big draw for Olympic trap is the fact that every target is such a challenge. There are no easy targets out here, and you have to work like the dickens to stay in the gun and hit the target.
And Joanna Nowitzki knows exactly how much this means. If she wins this, gets a gold medal, she earns a spot for the United States shooting team in the Olympics.
That's exactly right. Smoke that one. No problem. Here goes Nowitzki.
Oh, got away from her. That makes it a tie. This is when the nerves will start to work. And I'll tell you what, anything can happen even with these good shooters because they know where they are. They know exactly what's going on. These women can shoot. Just no getting around it.
They're all shooting well.
They really are. Well, we have a dead heat right now. Okay, Novinsky has missed another one. That puts her one target behind Cynthia Meyer from Canada. That is down to Cynthia Meyer and Joetta Novinsky. One target separates them. Canadian Cynthia Meyer is in the lead. American Joetta Novinsky. One target back. Coming down to the end here. Will Cynthia Meyer miss one? Will she open the door? Cynthia keeps grinding them up.
Got that hard right angle and got a piece of it.
All right, Joetta's got to jump all over this one just to have a chance. She breaks it. That's going to be it. Canadian Cynthia Meyer wins the gold medal. A really good performance, and I'll tell you what, a great performance for the American shooters here. We had 3 shooters in the finals. They did well just to get here and actually had a very good performance here.
With 3 of the top 6 places, another great showing of our U.S. team.
With stadium seating for 2,500 spectators and an all-new electronic target and scoring system, this range here at Wolf Creek is truly a world-class facility.
No doubt about it. You know, back in the old days when we used paper targets, the spectators really couldn't tell what was going on, and it often took several minutes to get the target scored. But with this new state-of-the-art electronic scoring system, the shooters get instantaneous feedback. The system is accurate to within 1/10 of a millimeter, and it's really made shooting an exciting spectator sport.
In the women's 3-position rifle event, competitors fire at targets 50 meters downrange. The target's bullseye is smaller than a dime, yet it takes a near-perfect score to medal in this challenging competition. Using highly accurate .22 caliber competition rifles, women shoot 20 rounds from each position, standing, kneeling, and prone, with the top 8 performers advancing to a 10-shot final round.
The 2 American shooters are doing very well here. The Russian Goldabita, of course, is leading at this point, but Jewel and Borland are holding their own.
Yes, they did extremely well just to get into this final late.
I'd like to just go to the Olympics and pick up my gold medal and go back home. I came in 7th place last Olympics in '96 and felt that I could do better and that I'd reached a point in my training that I could spend another 4 years tweaking and tuning and reinforcing certain places and polishing myself up here and there, that by the time I reached the year 2000 I would come closer to winning.
You can feel the tension here. It's just quiet as it can be. There's the last shot for this round. Looks like Elizabeth Borland got a 10.0. It's going to hold her position.
That'll help her some. It certainly won't hurt her.
It's very competitive. There are several women from different countries shooting in the upper 580s and even in the low 590s every once in a while. American women do very well. We're developing kind of a younger team right now, and which is really good, but of course when you're developing younger shooters, they tend to be in the lower portions of the finals. But we always have somebody finish in the top 8 and get into the finals, so we've always got a medal contender.
This is a tough match. They're shooting at 50 meters offhand, small bullseye.
Here comes their last shot. We're holding in 4th and 5th place. We're going to have to make a move. We're going to get into the medal here. The question here is going to be, are we going to be able to slide into that bronze medal slot? Oh, no, Elizabeth Borland gets an 8.9.
That's a tough shot to end with.
Still hasn't fired yet. She could open the door here, but it's not likely. It's the last shot of the last round. She's waiting. There she goes, her shot, a 9.8. She did not open the door for the Americans. The Americans are not going to be able to get in.
Though just edged out of the medals, it was a fine showing for these 2 dedicated American shooters.
5, 4, using extraordinarily accurate competition pistols from which lead pellets are powered by compressed air, competitors in the air pistol event fire at targets 10 meters downrange. The bullseye on these targets is less than a half an inch in diameter, but world-class scores are usually only a few points under a perfect score of 600.
It's 40 shots. You can have unlimited sighters. You have an hour and 15 minutes to shoot it. There's no time limit, really. Like, the best shooters don't always finish first, and they don't always finish last. It's just really how the shooter shoots.
It is a unique sport, and it's challenging. A shooter has to be both physically fit, so that their heart rate's a little lower. Also, they should be mentally fit, so that if they start out bad, they can mentally bring themselves back into the game.
You can't think too much about fundamentals, because if you do, then you're overthinking, and you can't just really be thinking of nothing, because then you're not doing what you should do. Most people focus on steps.
A lot of shooters, you'll see them sit down and close their eyes, and they're imagining their sights, they're imagining the gun going off, and they're imagining the bullet, where it's going to go. A lot of shooters play out every shot in their mind. Basically, it's a mind game that you can play with yourself, because it is a fairly simple sport that you can turn into something very difficult.
3, 2, 1. With the bullseye about the size of a pencil eraser, the 10-meter air pistol event truly puts a premium on pinpoint accuracy, a rock-steady hand, and 100% concentration. It's a sport where U.S. shooters are coming up in the ranks, with Lauren Santabanez taking the bronze medal and Terry Saab close behind in fourth. We're here at the Prince George's County Trap and Skeet Center, just a 3-iron away from the site of the 1998 Kemper Open. Today, some of the pros playing in the Kemper will be competing here in a first-of-its-kind ProAm, an event where they'll be swinging shotguns instead of golf clubs. As the PGA Tour and the game of golf have grown dramatically in recent years, it's a natural that many of these pros are also participating in one of America's other fast-growing outdoor recreations, the clay target sports.
I'm glad I'm a golfer and not a hunter, because judging by today, my performance has not been up to par.
With instruction from world-class sporting clays competitors, it was a chance for PGA pros to get some tips on the sport and to also discover that swinging a shotgun and swinging a golf club have a lot in common, from stance and alignment to concentration from shot to shot. I know when you're shooting these clay targets, if you let your mind lapse just a bit, let your mind wander, you're going to miss it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you know, you only got a split second. So if your mind's not where it's supposed to be right then and there, then chances are you're going to miss it.
And we do it on a putt, the same thing happens.
I'm afraid so.
I'm not very good at shotgunning. I was hoping to come out here and pick up a few tips, and I think I've done that, but I've got a long ways to go here.
Hosted by the Congressional Sportsmen's Foundation, this event provided a unique opportunity for PGA players and their sponsors to compete in a friendly sporting clays tournament, and for a change, to trade shots from station to station instead of from hole to hole. While some of these players were new to the game, others were no stranger to the shooting sports, like Dave Stockton Jr., who started hunting at the same time he picked up a golf club.
Well, I've been golfing since I was 2, so obviously my parents wouldn't put a gun in my hand at that young of an age. But I've been playing golf for as long as I can remember and hunting for as long as I can remember. My grandfather owned a sporting goods store, and he used to take my dad when he was a kid and taught him about the outdoors. And my dad did the same thing with myself and my brother.
Don, I just saw you switch from shooting right-handed to left-handed and ran a whole string of them. Can you do that with a golf club?
No, not hardly. I'm left-eye dominant, and I was having a hard time picking up the target there, right-eyed. And they put tape on it. That didn't work, but shooting left-handed, I guess I'm better, so I guess I'm going to have to do that.
There are a lot of similarities between golf and sporting clay, as a lot of the guys think.
I think it's a lot to do with putting. You know, putting it's a very smooth, rhythmic movement, and the same way with the skeet shooting. I mean, it's very rhythm and fluidity in the swing of the shotgun. And I unfortunately get a little jerky with it.
You got to keep a follow through in both, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm having trouble with right now.
When the smoke cleared, it was Dave Stockton Jr. taking 4th place and Don Pooley coming in 3rd. Mike Stanley had a strong round to take the runner-up spot, and it was Brad Fable showing he could swing a shotgun with the best, taking 1st place honors.
Chevy Trucks, Shooting Sports America, is brought to you by Marlin and Ruger.
In the men's 3-position rifle event, competition-style 22 caliber rifles weighing up to 17.5 pounds are used to fire at a target set out at 50 meters, and the bullseye on these targets is no larger than a dime. The match is shot from 3 positions, prone, standing, and kneeling, with 40 shots fired from each position.
It happens to be one of the most precise and, if you will, difficult but accurate events. The rifle is very capable of shooting very small groups, and you need this in order to hit the 10 ring. I think that you find that most rifle shooters have a great deal of concentration and ability to focus and have a lot of patience, because what's required is to stand up there for the entire duration of time and to repeat time and time again the same performance in order to produce one 10 after another 10 after another 10. At this level, you really need to fire almost perfect scores in order to be at the top of the list. You don't have to be of any particular size, shape, body build in order to do this. It's a mental game. Once you have the technical aspects of the sport down, such as getting in the proper position, acquiring the proper equipment, it's just you and the target.
In an event where just fractions of an inch can make the difference between winning or losing, and the slightest bobble can put you out of the running, U.S. team member Lance Hopper took the silver medal. Another impressive finish for a U.S. team that, every year, is making more and more of a mark on the international shooting scene.
Being on the U.S. team is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I've given up a lot to be on the U.S. team.
To shoot with these different countries is just an experience that I'll never pass up.
Winning in this game requires a lot of concentration, a little bit of luck, and sometimes a little bit of help from your friends.
I like the fact that it's not only an individual sport, but when you're traveling overseas, you're representing your country. Very proud to be an American citizen. Everybody that I've run into is very impressed with the way the athletes represent their country. How proud we are to be Americans, and shooting a shotgun.
Proud not only of their country, but also proud of their growing accomplishments in every area of world-class competition. American men and women shooting athletes who are now not just competing, but going for the gold. See you next time on Chevy Trucks Shooting Sports America.